your favorite Dodge Dodge Caravan with the V6 gasoline engine under the hood, and today we're going to replace the fuel pump on this van. And if you didn't troubleshoot your fuel pump circuit, I definitely recommend you to go and check the video how to troubleshoot load and control sides of the fuel pump circuit. Make sure you're replacing the right part, or you might not need to replace in any parts and make everything work. Check that video. I'll put a card over there and a description as well. Let's get started. 10mm socket or wrench to disconnect the negative battery terminal first. Here we go. My e-brake is engaged and I blocked the wheel, and I have my van already on a jack stands. Here we go, like that. Have tons of room. Make sure we're safe. Because we're working with the fuel, we're going to drain the fuel just in case. Have a fire extinguisher handy, you never know. If you have more than a quarter tank of fuel, drain it because it will be too heavy. Alright, I removed most of the fuel. Okay, disconnect fuel pump electrical connector. See this red locking tub? Push it out like this. Press this tub in and wiggle it and pull it out. Here we go. Nice and easy. Don't pull the wires. Let's disconnect the fuel line connector. Let's spray a little bit WD. It really helps. Alright. Here's two tubs. You press them in and pull it out. And I'm going to use the fuel line disconnect pliers. We'll put a link to this tool down in the description. Check it out. There we go. Okay, Evapoline connector on the front of the fuel tank. Have to squeeze those tubs and pull this one out. That'll come out. There we go. Just squeezed in and pulled out. It will release. Disconnect the evap line at the top of the fuel tank. Let's spray a little bit magic juice. Good. Nice and easy. Alright, remove the filler neck hose connector clamp. We have to drop the tank a little bit down prior to undo this hose. Next, let's disconnect the fuel tank vent line. Pretty easy, using the same fuel line disconnecting pliers, squeezing those tubs and pulling both lines apart. Pretty simple. Alright, like so. Good. I have my floor jack ready with a piece of plywood to support the tank. 15mm socket to remove fuel tank strap mounting bolts. Here we go. $13mm wrench to remove the strap bolt on the front of the fuel tank. Time to lower down the fuel tank. Nice and easy. Right now we can get access to the Evapoline connector on top of the fuel tank. Our fuel tank is halfway down, enough room to do that. And let's push that plastic tub in, and that way we can disconnect those two parts of the line. Be careful, those lines easy to break. Use a little bit of WD-40 will help, and press it in and pull it apart. It will come out nice and easy. Okay, my tank is on the ground, or it's on a jack. And now everything's disconnected. We didn't break anything. That's our goal. Do it right and you're good to go with less time and money spent on repairs. Okay, as you can see, lots of dirt, some gravel on top of the fuel tank build up. Now I'm going to tape all lines, all connectors, make sure nothing will get in, because we're going to start doing the big cleanup. You don't want to get any dirt get inside the tank, and that will make your warranty voided. Okay, I'm using a compressed air. Let's just blow everything what is on top, make a good cleanup. All right, and especially around the fuel pump hole. Okay, that's all clean, and let's just wash it. Everything wasn't clean with the air, clean it with the brake clean. Make sure when we'll open that fuel tank pump nut retainer, nothing will get in. Let's wipe it, and cleaning is always first. Okay, as you can see, it's pretty dirty, but almost getting spotless. All right, a little bit more cleanup, and we should be good. Let's remove fuel pump connecting line. Pretty easy, same thing, same plastic retainer clips. Okay, we still have a little bit of gasoline was sitting in a line. That's good. Okay, let's spray a little bit of WD-40 just before we'll start undoing that fuel pump nut. And I'm using a flat chisel, and be careful not to scratch and damage the plastic fuel tank, and slowly go with the chisel like that, and it has no weight to resist and will come out. As you can see, you don't need to use any specialty tools. I think there's one. Okay, let's remove that connected line completely and take that locker nut and slowly pull our fuel pump assembly out. I still have a little bit of gasoline in the tank left. I wasn't able to get 100% out, but we'll drain it and clean that tank. Okay, as you can see, some fuel in a fuel pump stainer. There's a filter screen on the bottom. Look at that, how dirty is that, and that pump is was original, and we only have 162,000 kilometers on the van, and it failed. Well, it is what it is, and time for a new fuel pump. Okay, I drained the fuel from the fuel pump, and now I will just transfer rest of the fuel what's in the tank. Just wiggle it back and forth and get all that towards debris on the bottom, and get it out with the fuel together. Okay, I will just dump it, and then we'll start cleaning our fuel tank. Make sure new pump will go into the clean, good tank. Okay, let's transfer all gasoline into the jerry can, and we'll use it later, and should be good to burn. Okay, now I cleaned everything. I'm going to inside with a spill pads, rags, and absorb everything what's on the bottom left and clean all the debris. It's not much debris, but a little bit of residue you will see on the bottom over time. It's yeah, the way it is. It does a cleanup, and then you will be 400% sure your fuel pump will work with the fuel, not sucking the dirt. Okay, here you go. There's a replacement part. I got it from Rock Auto, and there's a part number, and it's a Delphi. It's a high performance, good quality pump. Actually, it's not the first pump I'm installing. I installed the same pump on my Nissan Titan. Video will be out there, check it out, and be careful with the installation. Make sure you won't damage that fuel sender unit float, and always compare your pump you removed, original one, to the part you're going to install. Make sure they're identical. As you can see, there's a seal o-ring around the top of the fuel pump. There is a fuel pressure regulator. Sometimes those guys, they go bad, but you don't normally replace those guys. We tested, pump is bad, and we have to replace that assembly unit. And as you can see, it only will go in one direction, one way. And remember which way pump was installed, and we'll put it in the same way. No worries, we're going to that right now. As you can see, fuel stainer there, all clean, nice. And let's just wipe the neck of that fuel tank and just make sure there's nothing there, no dirt, and pump is good to go. Okay, here we go. That is our old o-ring. We have a new o-ring with a new fuel pump. Let's install that bad boy. And always using new rubber components. Here's our float fuel sender unit, which is a potentiometer. Be careful with that arm, make sure it won't get bent, otherwise fuel gauge won't work correctly or won't work itself. Make sure that o-ring fits properly all the way around, and let's start putting it in. Okay, this is the direction how you want to install pump, same way as we removed. Let's get the bottom of the pump inside the tank like so. Very easy. I like to cover more details, make sure we're not missing anything. There's no hurry, no reason to rush. It's kind of quick fix TikTok video. We want to just get everything, make sure everything's pretty clear, and if it will help at least to someone, that's really fantastic. Okay, here we go. Pump is in, all in place, and now we're putting our fuel pump locking nut. Same way it was removed, just start it by hand and go with a flat end chisel. Super easy, and as soon as it's locked all the way in, it won't go any further, and that's good to go. As you can see, our electrical fuel pump plug connector is facing out, and now we have to remove all that electrical tape. And also I'm going to replace some of those retainer fuel line clips. They're pretty cheap. I got this box for $5, and I will put a link down in the description. You can find them also from the local automotive store. Actually, they work also on Nissans. Lots of Japanese vehicles, they use the same connectors. Let's replace it, because when you remove the old one, they're dry, they're old and brittle. They break, sometimes they crack, they won't seal, they won't hold the line properly, it might get loose. Okay, our line's all clean. Let's connect fuel pump connecting line. Okay, same thing, align those tubs with the slots on the fuel line and firmly push it in, and click. You heard that sound, it means it's connected, it won't leak. Let's place that line to that slot, and now we're going back under the vehicle and start our process in reverse. Everything is what we disconnected, and I like to show you every single connector, every single fuel line, evap line, vent line, filler neck, hose, how to do it. Make sure you won't break anything. If you break that plastic part on the side of the tank, you have to replace the tank or try to glue it, GP weld it, and that might end it in a big repair, and no guarantee it might start leaking later on, and then you have to do it again, and it's just not fun. And sometimes when you go to the junkyard, you cannot get a tank because they puncture those tanks to drain the fuel. And here's me trying to align everything and make sure when we're up, we have everything in the right spot. It's pretty simple. We don't have a fuel in the tank right now, and it's light. Just take your time, align, and you can see I'm just going halfway in, and same way we just need to get enough room to get up to those connectors and start connecting everything. There goes one line, same way we disconnected. There's our VAP line, and we have another line. They have for charcoal canister, and there's one more, and they're all plastic. They're okay if you disconnect them properly. but if you rush, if you're in a hurry, if you don't know how to do it, you'll end up breaking them, and then you cannot replace them, or cannot buy them actually. Okay, now let's connect our filler neck hose, and as you can see, we're all aligned, and spread a little bit to WD-40. Make sure we'll slide easily, and it is. Look at that, not too bad. And my tank is supported with the jack. Let's put that fuel tank vent line. When you filled up your tank, air needs to go out, and then you can top it up your tank with the fuel, not have air locked. Okay, here's the fuel line. This is a fuel supply line to your fuel pump, and good, we connected that guy. And now time for electrical connector. Make sure your wires are good, and push it in, click, and lock it with that red locking tab. Chrysler, nice system. Okay, now we're putting our fuel tank straps back. Let's tie them up, and one 13mm bolt on the front, and also remember that
lots of
hose clamp, and let's tighten our 4 15mm fuel tank strap bolts. Make sure all tight, won't get loose, and you won't lose your fuel tank on the road. That's just dangerous. Yeah, this video is only demonstration and just enjoying to share with you, and it might just give you some advice when you're doing, and this video might just give you a general idea what it looks like. And yeah well, I'm just scrolling underneath, checking everything. Now let's load our vehicle down. Dodge Caravan, I like this one, and it's probably one of the best vehicles I ever owned. Super cool for camping, cheap, easy. Okay, let's connect our negative battery terminal. Make sure we're all tight, good connection, all electricity is okay. Let's prime. Right, can you hear it? Good. Yeah, one more prime. Let's do it a few times. You can hear it. Alright, moment of truth. Let's fire it up. Oh yeah, back to business, back to life, cheap fix, everything in there, beautiful van is good to go for many more years. Okay. Thank you so much guys for your time watching this video. If you have any questions, put them down in the comment section below. Critics, comments, suggestions, all put down there. And yeah, I put all fuel back, and I have a half a tank. My fuel gauge is working now. Time to go underneath and check for any possible leaks. We shouldn't have any. All good. And guys, thanks again. See you soon. Take care. And yeah, bye now.